Two friends, two minds, and one love for Arsenal Football Club. You are now listening to the Cod and Two Minds podcast.
All right, what's going on, homie?
Hey, what's up, dude? Just chilling.
Right. It's a hell of a week.
Yeah. Feel beat up.
They got me again, man. They got me again. You know, what was it? A few shows ago, I was like, yeah, man, we can win the. We can win the league. We can win the league.
To be exact, I believe it was last show that we were both talking about how it's a legitimate shot to win the league. Yeah,
it's legitimate. You know what I mean? And 7 days. It's 7 days later, we're 9 points back.
Yeah.
7 days, 9 points back.
I'm gonna stop you for a second. I want to make a joint moment of silence because it's related. So,
okay,
just like Arsenal got the shit beat out of them, I'd like to take a moment of silence for Bernard Hopkins. Everybody could please just bow your heads and take a moment of silence for
before
a man as old as me that is still trying to climb in a ring and fight got knocked out of the motherfucking ring, man. Got knocked out of the ring.
He looked pitiful. And before we give B-Hop, the executioner, a moment of silence, I'd like to give a moment of silence for Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Green Acres is the place to be.
Nobody knows what you're talking about, but yeah, you know, she, you know. Anyway. Congratulations about the Raiders. You're back.
Hey, it's been a long time.
Yeah, long time. Something positive with the week we've had with Arsenal. You know, one of our other teams we support has finally made it back into the playoffs. So that's good. Yeah. Now, let's start with the dog shit.
Hey, you know what you get if you shine a dog shit up?
What is that?
Dog shit. It's still dog shit.
Yeah. That's. I don't. I mean, you want to talk a little bit about the Everton game? I mean, it's pretty much deja vu. It's pretty much the same thing. I mean, you know,
if we just talk about either game, you're talking about the same game, same fucking thing.
Yeah. You know, 2-1. The thing with the Everton game was, you know, it's deja vu all over again. Everything. Everton just was like, fuck it, we'll just be more physical and punk these fools and take it to them, and they'll crumble. That's exactly what happened. I didn't like the fact that Wenger started Ox and took him out. You know what I mean? I think, you know, when he took out Ox, I thought Ox was playing pretty good, and he brought in Iwobi, and Iwobi, you know, he had a rough game. He missed a chance at the end. I like it the way he did it on Sunday. You know, you start Iwobi, you know, and then you take him out and put in Ox. You know, Ox is a little more experienced, a little more dynamic. He can do more things, and I just think he's more effective as a sub. So that would be the one knock on Wenger for the Everton match. I thought he got those two mixed up. But the team, all in all, just, you know, not enough grit, not enough determination. You know, the stakes were high, and, you know, we didn't show up.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the same thing. Like, let it be known, I'm not asking that the guy gets taken out of the starting lineup, but Ozil, man, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. Like,
yeah,
it's just I mean, trying to pick out the perfect passes and all that stuff. I mean, I get it, and I believe that you're seeing the field, but man, there's too many times that your pass doesn't make it through, or you trying to like body somebody off of the ball so you can like make something happen, which, hey, that's what I want, creativity. But, if somebody is just going to muscle you and take the ball from you, like right at the box, on the edge of the box, like, you got to figure your game out, man. You got to figure it out.
Yeah. I don't. None of that bothers me. Well, yeah. I guess my point is gonna be, Ozil's not a small guy. You know what I mean? When Santee gets bumped off the ball, you're like, oh, okay, he's a little bastard. It's gonna happen from time to time. But also, he's a good sized human being for a soccer player. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And it just happens way too easy. And the fight and determination to get the ball back is just completely non-existent. And that doesn't work. That does not work in the Premiership.
Yeah.
That attitude, I lost it. No biggie.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work in the Premiership. And that's the part of his game to me that's lacking. There's if things don't go his way, or if the people around him aren't playing up to his level or standards, he starts to sulk, he gets disappointed, and it just takes away from everything we're trying to do. Switching over to the Man City game, the Everton game was bad. You could look at that one and say, okay, bad day at the office. You know what I mean? We didn't create a lot of chances. Everton really stuck it to us with the physicality and getting after us. Okay, no biggie. Goodison, tough place to go and play. Their fans were magnificent. It was an electric atmosphere, so on and so on. Okay, cool. We lost it. Bad day at the office. Now we got a big game against Man City. Super Sunday is how they're touting it. And oh my goodness, started out great. I mean, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I'm just to call back just a little bit because of the way that the Man City game started. Beautiful pass from Alexis that sprung Theo. Theo made a good run. So, like, I guess kind of my point about Ozil's passing even is that when I see Alexis is making these passes that get through and get to their man and stuff, when I truly believe Ozil is probably even, a better passer than Alexis even, like, that's the part I'm talking about. Like, you got to figure this out, man. Like,
to be honest, he barely got the ball in a position to do anything. As far as that game against Man City, I do hear what you're saying, but I mean, if you think back in that game, when did you ever see him with the ball? With time to, I mean, the whole second half, the ball was in our half. And the time he should have been doing it was in the first half. The ease in which my dog is whining. Did you hear
that? Yeah.
Hey, come on! I'm trying to do a podcast here.
It's too early. Hey, why you interrupting her sleep?
I'm trying to do a. Nah, she wants her master to come home. I'm other master. You know what I mean? She's like looking out the way. Anyway, enough with the dog. But the time when, the ease in which
Bella,
come on, please. Let me get through this podcast. The ease in which we just cut open that Man City defense. I mean, they were there for the taking. A lot of first team, their back line, Kun Aguero. I mean, we just didn't go for it once we scored that goal. We sat back and just kind of, la, 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 we got this.
Totally. And, I mean, even though they did threaten us in the first half or whatever, everybody handled themselves well. But even more importantly, like you were saying, in the first half, we were close to cutting them open several times, and okay, we didn't put it in the back of the net after that one, but like it, going into the half, like I felt confident, like, man, we should be able to probably get at least another one because, man, we had some opportunities, Right.
Well, we had opportunities, but I mean, the part that disappointed me, especially in that first half, is that we really didn't go for it. We really didn't push it and go for it and just really try to get that second goal and just really put a lot of pressure on them. We left the door open for them to eventually, because they were out of rhythm. They weren't playing well, and just being down 1-0 at halftime gave them a lot of confidence. And, our team is so naive and ridiculous that we probably thought, okay, yeah, we got this. Whereas to me, they should have, going into halftime and coming out of halftime, they would have been the team a little more optimistic, like, whew, we got away with one. Okay, let's tighten up. You know what I mean? Whereas, which I mean, in the second half, you clearly saw a change of attitude from Man City. They pressed harder. They more of them broke out on counters, and they just they kind of brought the game to us even harder. Exactly.
And the other thing too with the complacency, don't go with the complacency when you don't have Mustafi. This isn't your front line center backs that you have there, because Shelney's there, but no Mustafi. What makes you think we can, sit back, defend, and just hold this 1-0 lead?
Especially when we haven't kept a clean sheet in 12 games or whatever it is now.
Yeah. I mean, surprisingly, Sane's goal came off of what would have been Mustafi's position,
right.
Came off of Gabriel's shoulder, kind of where he did. Now, the one thing I'm gonna point out that's different about the two games, and oh my God, any non-Arsenal fans can call me out if you want for being, for bitching and crying, but Sane was offsides. He was offsides.
Clear as day.
He was offsides, and you could also say, which, I know it doesn't get called sometimes it doesn't, but even the second goal,
right?
You can kind of say that Silva was offsides, and it's definitely offsides.
And in a way,
was he a distraction to the goalie? Well, when you saw the replay and you saw where he was, you could see how Czech possibly, had to consider,
right?
Silva's run in front of him as a possibility, and that's how you sneak it in the near side on him.
Definitely, and that's what we've been riding our luck all year. We've had some calls go our way, and it's just a shame when the refs really, when they get I'll give them the Silva goal. But when I saw it in live action, the Sané goal, I was like, oh, he's offsides. Immediately. There's no hesitation. I was like, oh, he's offsides. And then, they never raised the flag. And, that's one you got to get. You have to get that one. And, the announcers are saying, oh, I don't know. And, you know what I mean? It's just,
Well, you know what? They kind of immediately led, flag is down. But, after they showed the replay the second time, one of the announcers was like, it looks like it's probably offsides there,
Right.
Yeah, he was offside.
Clear as day. So, yeah, and that was a shame. What about some of the performances? I'll start with Alexis. Really feeling sorry for this guy. He Alexis, we don't need Wenger, we don't need Steve Bowe, we don't need none of the coaching staff. We just need Alexis, because Alexis in the whole first half, you know, he knows the pressing game, and he's trying to get people and put them in position. He's trying to do the whole thing, and nobody is helping him out. Like he gets it, but you know, Ozil and Iwobi and Theo, like nobody helps him out in his attempts to press, and it's just sad to see him just go through that. You know, it must be so frustrating for him because he works so hard, and the majority of the people around him look like they're working hard, but they're not intelligently working hard like he is. Like he's actually trying to cause havoc and create things, whereas we're just kind of the rest of the team is just kind of like robots. You know, okay, I'm supposed to be here. They're thinking. It's not instinctual as far as the pressing. So it's just, you know, go ahead, man.
Hey, over this season, the games that I've been most proud, and I've pointed out several times, is when Arsenal is pressing the ball. And Alexis continues to press the ball. And like you said, while he's getting in position to try to pressure somebody, he's turning around and telling the rest of the crew, we have to press the ball.
Go here.
He recognizes what has been, like, you know, our winning formula this season.
Right. The only
pressure the ball.
The only way pressing in that fashion is going to work is if it's a coordinated attempt. A group of people have to agree upon, okay, this is how we're going to press in these situations. And if one person's doing it and some people are doing it some of the times, it's never going to work, and you're going to have a lot of people out of position, and it's just going to be chaos, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you stretch those passing lanes open for diagonal passes. Like if Alexis is going to run way up the field to press somebody, but nobody else is, at some point, you know, as they're bringing the ball up, that, you know, there's just open diagonal passes all over the field to where they just slice us up, man. They just slice us up.
Right. And okay, so yeah, that's, you know, the rest of the team as a whole was just awful. No fight.
Look,
no.
I'm gonna be a little more aggressive about one person, okay?
Go for
it. It's not because I hate him as much as the rest of Arsenal Nation loves him. I'm sorry, Xhaka. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to just call you out right now.
Yeah.
You're slow.
Extremely slow.
You make little misses and errors that end up costing us. So, you know, when Xhaka went for like a little dink header that he clearly could have put his body on the guy to make sure that he at least disrupted the damn ball.
Right.
Could have stopped that goal from Sane.
Right.
All of a sudden, it's like bang, 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 boom, goal. And it was like because Xhaka didn't do his job.
Right.
You know,
it's just those little dumbass things like that, you know, that make you think back to the cliche days. You know what I mean? Like he just can't, like, he'll clear it and it'll ricochet off the guy and go, you know what I mean, head towards our goal. Just little dumb shit like that. It's like, you know, one of the frustrating parts about the game was just the way we were just frantically, with no composure, just clearing the ball out of bounds, and just, you know, all the bullshit about we play beautiful football and we're so technically. I mean, we showed none of that. The second half, we couldn't even string two passes together, and yeah, they were pressing, but they weren't pressing that hard. I mean, how hard is Yaya Toure gonna press you? You know what I mean? He's running around there like his feet are hurting, like he's got bunions. You know what I mean? And Kolarov is like, you know, screw all this press. I mean, they didn't have tremendous speed in the middle of the park to really affect us, but what little pressing they were doing, I mean, we just looked pitiful. We could not put two passes together. And that's where we miss Santi. We miss somebody to be a leader on the team and be like, look, it's 1-1. Slow down. Let's keep the ball and let's try to build something. patiently with composure, and you just got none of that. Just you losing the ball, like not even like getting tackled off us, just an errant pass or kicking it out of bounds, just dumb shit, man, just pitiful. I mean, we looked awful in the second half as far as, you know, displaying our wonderful technical ability and our players. Just the midfield was just constantly losing the ball, and the defense, I mean, it's time to play holding, you know. Okay, you've given Gabriel a couple good attempts, but he's clearly not making the grade. And is there that big of a gap between Holding and Gabriel? No. And if anything, you want to talk about who's better, you would kind of lean towards Holding. So give the kid a shot, and quit bullshitting. Do something.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we don't have a real backup for Bellerin at right, like, I prefer Gabriel to back him up at the right back.
He didn't play bad.
As far as center back goes, Holding is a more classic center back that, is not too risky.
Right.
Just kind of holds his position, plays the line well. So I, like you said, yes, that's where I would be leaning.
Monreal got, he got roasted on the Sterling goal, the second goal. He didn't really get too roasted, but I mean, if you go back and watch that, there was nobody near him to help him. Sterling is fast. Monreal did. He gave him time to cut in and do whatever. But I think Ox or somebody had come in at that time and just no help whatsoever. Just an all around. The worst part about it to me was just the lack of just being able to keep the ball and pass it. Make 2 or 3 passes.
It really gave you
at any stage in the second half
feelings.
Yeah, just
it
no
really
composure.
Gave you old feelings of the way we used to just kind of get panicky,
no composure, nobody on the field to be like, hey, let's slow this down, let's it's 1-1, you draw Sid, you get a draw at the Etihad against a team you're competing with, not a bad result. Let's keep it together, let's try to keep the ball. None of that, just freaking out, kicking it out of bounds, losing the ball, not, like I said, not even getting it tackled. Receiving the ball, maybe having a shitty first touch and passing it to Man City. It was, we should be ashamed of ourselves. As fans, I'm ashamed because they hoodwinked me again. A week ago, I was talking about we could win the league title, and here we sit 9 points behind the leaders, and it's over to me. Because Wenger, I hate to say it. Oh gosh, I don't like. What I mean? I'm an asshole, but because nothing's.
There's some about the way that we set up that just, like you said, like Monreal out there, like he didn't have his best game and stuff or whatever, but in the same regard, if you just like concentrated just watching his responsibility, like however it is we set up, teams get behind our defensive mids too easy, which always leaves like our corner guys, Monreal and Bellerin, like in these positions where it's just one-on-one. And when it's one-on-one with skilled frontmen, like, you got problems. Like, you're not gonna look like you're having a great game. It's just like, even though you're just scrambling for your life, like, constantly. They get behind, and they get behind Koch and Xhaka or whoever our defensive mids are a little too easy, and like it just was glaringly obvious when I kept looking. Like at one point in the second half, I kept thinking like how come our team can't get behind their defensive mids into space to create things
because we couldn't
they can to us.
We can't string together 2 passes.
Yeah,
because we couldn't even complete 2 passes. Just completely pitiful. The just because you got a cool haircut and you're a good looking guy doesn't mean you're going to be a great football player. and that's all I'm going to say about Granit Xhaka and the Xhaka fanboys. Okay, just because you got a good haircut and you're good looking doesn't mean you're going to be a good football player. That's it. That's it. I don't. When you watch the way he plays and what he brings to this team and the way we want to play, I don't know where he gets. It's a good thing Sandy got hurt. I don't know what is Ramsey hurt.
The just before game time or like the day before. Wenger came out and said that he's got a little something, some kind of little knock or something. I don't know.
He's the only other guy besides Alexis who will at least fight. Monreal will fight too. He's just but Ramsey, at least he'll run around and try to do do something spectacular. But at least he hustles. He
does hustle, and I just don't want. It's just frustrating. I mean,
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You just let's see the top 4 or 5 coaches in the league. You take Pep, you take Conte, you take Mourinho, you take Pochettino. Any of those coaches have this squad? Are we in a better position? Let's say Mourinho took over Arsenal this year with the players we have. Are we in a better position?
It feels a little trick questiony, but I'm going to say with Mourinho, no.
You gotta say okay.
Not with Mourinho.
It wasn't a trick question.
Mostly because.
Okay, Pep. Okay, Conte.
He couldn't go with so many people lighting the ass like we have. He would have problems. He would have problems like positioning our players.
But tactically.
But Pep and Conte, yeah.
Even Mourinho.
Klopp would love this team.
I'm saying even Mourinho, because tactically he would make it so that we're not giving up goals every week. Or he would switch things up. He would bring in different people. Any of the top coaches in this league would fare better with this club than Wenger, because Wenger will never change. You look at Chelsea. Okay, we beat Chelsea 3-0. That crazy ass Italian was like, okay, cool.
Yes.
You guys see this shit isn't working. Okay, we're gonna do it my way. A perfect example of coaching and doing whatever it takes with a player would be when Chelsea got David Luiz. Everybody laughed. Laughed.
Right.
Oh, David Luiz, he's so wild. He's out of control. He can't play center back. He's too reckless. He'll never fit in with Conte. 9 clean sheets. 9 clean sheets out of the 10 games in a row or 11 games in a row. 9 clean sheets. Okay, with Cahill, Luiz, and whoever else, but 9.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's somebody who's saying, okay, this guy's a spaz. I'm gonna coach him up. I'm gonna teach him my system, and I'm gonna get the best out of him.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll never have that. We'll never have that at Arsenal. For as long as I've been watching them, it's always going to be the same thing over and over again. Over and over again.
Yeah, it is. And which, one thing I do find a little funny about Conte with Chelsea is it's almost like a spit in the face to Mourinho that Chelsea just keep winning 1-0. Just 1-0. Just a classic Mourinho score. Jose would try to get his goal and shut it down and just win. A win is a win. And Conte, that's exactly what he's doing. Like, in the meantime, while they got all these clean sheets, they're not burning up the damn the goals like necessarily. They're just winning.
That's what you're supposed to do when you're trying to win a title. You win if you're not playing good, you're not getting a lot of goals. You can at least depend on your defense not to ship in goals, and you can get away with 1-0 wins until you get rhythm offensively. Offense is a rhythm thing. For a while there, we didn't really have any. Then we'd have a couple games where we had, oh wow, we're scoring a lot of goals, and now we're not scoring goals anymore. So it's peaks and valleys with offense. But if you can have a defense that's solid and consistent, then it goes a long way into you getting results, whether it's draws or wins.
Yeah. The other thing I feel funny about, from week to week when we're doing, our having our talks like this is I go from periods where I feel like we have depth to periods when I feel like, damn, we ain't got no depth, man.
Right. It's games like Sunday where you're like, you know what was I thinking?
When he brings in Ox, I'm like, man, that's nice to be able to bring in Ox off the damn bench and stuff. But all of a sudden, Ox gets hurt. And when Ox gets hurt, all of a sudden it's like, okay, Ox is hurt. Let's bring in El Nini. When it was like clearly like, man, we kind of need somebody offensively to be coming off the bench right now, not El Nini.
Right.
Perez
maybe had a hat trick his last game.
Perez would have been a fine choice. And I don't really care how many people disagree with me or hate me or say, dude, just be realistic. But Welbeck. When Welbeck's ready, he needs to be part of this team. When we're talking about effort, Alexi effort and stuff, like Welbeck works his ass off to try to make things happen. And there's several times in the last couple of years when he put in game-winning headers and chase somebody down to the corner to steal the ball from him to just make things happen. And effort is what this team lacks. Effort.
Yeah, effort in the midfield. Cock, he's always going to bring the effort, but I'm embarrassed. I really am embarrassed.
I know,
because I really thought we had a chance, and I know, in 7 days, we're 9 points back, and I'm cashing in on the season, but I have to, because they got me again this year. They got me again. Last week I was like, we could win league. They got me again. And I've seen this movie so many times, and nothing is going to change. Nothing. We might. I've seen it too many times for over 10 years. I've seen it. I know how it ends. We're going to go on a nice little run. We're going to look great for a little bit. And then when March comes, we're going to go on another tailspin. It's just the way it is. It's, it really is. I love Wenger. He's one of the reasons why I started liking the club, but now when I listen to him, I'm just like, dude, shut up. He's talking about lions and cages and the referees being protected. And it's just like, dude, just seriously, just stop. Just stop. And he just looks so sad and just feeble.
I know, man.
It's just pitiful now. It's like, if you feel, he should have left after the first FA Cup win. You know what I mean? When you finally got another trophy, you can go out on top. I mean, okay, for sure the second one. After the back-to-back and the tailspin on that year as far as league, that's when you go. You tip your hat, you go, get on the board, be a consultant, and everything's fine. But now it's getting, I've been saying it's getting sad for like the last 5 years, but now it's really getting sad because the same shit is happening. It's happening.
Yeah. I mean, we've alluded to it in the past. So, like, even the biggest clubs, like, of course, the respect for the time Wenger has been here and what he's done for the team, that you let Wenger go out on his terms. But there are big clubs that don't hesitate to just be like, you know what? This ain't working no more. I'm getting rid of you.
Well, there's that, and then there's the whole fact that Wenger, coaches until his contract's up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even if they were to offer him an extension, he would be like, no. So I mean, even his ego and his arrogance to kind of, keep the, kind of got the, he's got the club handcuffed, because it's like, well, I don't know. Is he going to stay? What's he going to do? He's been doing this for years.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you know what I mean? And that affects bringing in players. Man, come on, dude. It's time. It is time. There's nothing we can do to get back in this title race. We still have to go to Liverpool. We still got to go to Chelsea, right? No.
No, that Chelsea win was at home, right?
Okay, I don't know.
I think so.
Somebody will send me an email telling me how stupid I am for not knowing that on the fly. But we still got to play Man U again, Tottenham. So there's no way we're getting back in this. I mean, if Costa gets hurt and Hazard gets hurt, then maybe. But if those two, I mean, they're playing once a week, except for the Christmas period. We're done. He ain't gonna change shit.
No,
he ain't gonna change.
No,
shit.
The reason why I brought up depth is because, like, if you look at Man City and they missed, 3 starters on the field are now out,
right?
And they replaced all those guys. They were like, not even a regular striker up front against us, and they still found a way to make it work.
Right, and
I'm missing Santi and Mustafi, and the team is in shambles.
Complete shambles. Complete. But the thing, back to the coaching thing, something was clearly said to Man City at halftime.
Yes.
From their coach. Something was clearly said. Tactics were switched up. Mentality. Something was said. Something.
Yep.
Now you go on the other side. You go into our other locker room, and I don't. What was I sent out the tweet where everybody went in halftime and smoked some weed. You know what I mean? But,
yeah.
I mean, nothing could have been said. Nothing could have been said. It's just a mess.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on one sec. Talk for a little bit or whatever. Just, I gotta go let the dog out.
Okay. So, basically what happened to me is there's just like a delusional feel about what the attitude of Arsenal football is. They just don't play with urgency. They don't act like any of this is that important, except for Alexis. So when we say something like Pep clearly said something to Man City at halftime, the way I envision what Pep probably said to them at halftime was just take a look at the picture of Alexi on the field, waving the team up. Bring the team up and help me press. Like we need to make this harder on their team to keep possession. That's what Pep told them. That's exactly what Pep told Man City is like, look, you know what?
We got these
your
fools.
Pressing hasn't been good enough. I need you guys to play with a little more urgency. Everybody up on Arsenal a little bit more. Come on. Everybody move everybody up a little bit more. And I guarantee you'll get the results that you want. And
they all
listened. They all did it. And in the meantime, it's just Alexis up there in the front waving his hands. Come on, everybody.
Yeah.
Come on. Push up.
Yeah. And this. Yeah. He basically said, hey, just go out here and punk these fools. They'll crumble. That's what they do.
Yeah.
How many times have we all seen this movie, and they probably all just had a big laugh and came out there and scored within 2 minutes of halftime being over. So it's just, it's getting embarrassing. It's the same old thing over and over again. As an Arsenal fan for years and years and years, you just, at this point, if you've been an Arsenal fan for 10 years, you know what's going on. You know what's going on right now. You hear it from all the other supporters. You're a laughing stock. We're jokes.
Yeah.
We're jokes. Bottom line. I don't know what else
I got to tell you. This just leads me into an issue I got into this week with Mr. Dan Thomas with ESPN FC. So I'm going to tell you, I started a war with him that I'm just like, well, you know what? It's weird because I call it a war, but he's not responding to me. That's okay. He doesn't have to respond to me.
Well, Fiddy.
And I'll just back down and just say, hey, I guess you're right, Dan Thomas. But, it doesn't change one thing, though. There's one thing. You're a fucking wanker. Wanker. And I'm going to tell you what, it wasn't the fact that you didn't like Arsenal or you like to bash Arsenal that was my problem. It's when I saw you whine and scream like a bitch to Craig Burley.
Yeah.
I was like, man, if a man ever whined and screamed at me like that,
you're shaking.
We gonna have problems, dude.
Yeah,
we gonna have problems. So that's why I chose to call you out, Dan Thomas. And I'm gonna tell you this: it's not over. It's not over.
He's thirsty. He's a thirsty guy. And but I mean,
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. And let me give you everybody so you know his Twitter handles. So he's an Arsenal hater. If you love Arsenal, you happen to watch ESPN FC because you're here in America and we don't have a lot of choices for daily football installments. It's at Dan Thomas ESPN. At Dan Thomas ESPN. Hit that son of a bitch up on Twitter. Ride his ass when don't let him get away with calling out bullshit. Okay.
Fiddy, you're shaking. Okay.
That's all I got to say about the bitch at Dan Thomas ESPN.
Yeah, I mean, I never liked that guy. He's always trying to instigate shit and cause trouble, and it's the whole culture of football. That's what I mean as far as being laughing stocks and jokes, because we are. He's got a right to be like that because he can he can see what we all can see. You know what I mean? not trying to diss you, but I mean like I said, I fight with these people all the time, but at the same time, in the back of my heart, I'm just like, well, they're right. It sucks. Yeah. It sucks that we're jokes, and it's time Arsenal fans start to realize it. Then that way, you don't expect anything. If anything good happens, cool. If the same shit happens over and over, then you're okay either way. But the fact is, from the top to the bottom, and to a lot of the players, we're jokes. The board is a joke. The whole Luis Suarez thing was a joke. And so on and so on. The acquisition of players is shitty. The contract talks between Alexis and Ozil just magnifies the fact that we're just a bunch of busters. We're jokes. We can't get shit done. They got 18 months left. Oh God, as fans we have to deal with this from other fans. Oh, you're gonna lose Ozil. You're gonna lose Alexis, and and the worst part about it is we probably will. You know what I mean? Because they know they can go to other teams. So you know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous on all fronts. Ridiculous. We got a coach who, is just relying on his past to get him through these times, but clearly, he's lost it. When does a good coach go bad? You know what I mean? They all go bad. They all go bad at some point, but when is it? You know what I mean? And when do some fans let go, and when are some fans too hard on them? At this stage in the game, you know what I mean? I don't think anybody, if you got a problem with Wenger, is being too hard on him, because that's the one consistent. That's the one thing that stays the same, and these are the same results over and and over again. You know, it's that time of year as an Arsenal fan when on your Twitter feed, the definition of insanity starts popping up. You know, people are always the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. I've seen that shit like 10 times, and it's like, okay, it's that time of year. We're falling like a fucking brick in the water.
My favorite is people think that they're so clever with that. Like, hey man, that's like hack now. Like, we all know what everybody knows what it is. Okay.
Yeah, if you've been
on, you know what? The one thing I noticed about Wenger, like, did you ever notice, like lately, like, I don't know how long this has been, but I see other coaches, pointing, telling their team, like, move up, move back, spread it out wider, do this. Like, they're yelling at the team to do things. Every time you see Wenger, the only thing you see him reacting to is a call by the official that pissed him off, or the fourth judge, or
time wasting.
I never see him coaching the team. Time wasting.
He gets mad at time wasting, but other than that, he looks like he's hunched over like he's holding in a big piss, like he's got a piss. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, you look at Conte, you look at Pep, and they look like they're fucking boogalooing and pop locking and doing all kind of shit. So yeah, dude, that's right. I said boogalooing. But anyway, dude, we gotta go. We gotta end this.
That's it, man.
I'm done with all this bullshit. Who we got coming up? Let's wrap this up.
Let's just better days ahead, man.
We got that's right. We got West Brom. They're
West Brom.
Tony Pulis. It's going to be a tough match. That's going to be the real test of the team's grit and determination, because Tony Pulis does not fuck around. Go out there and crack some legs, mate. You know what I mean? He's wild. They're playing a little better now as far as going forward. So that's going to be a big test for us. And then after that, who we got? After West Brom. Don't make me ask my phone, mother.
Look, ooh. I'm on my phone right now, but
whatever.
They don't even have us listed for
get some bandwidth.
Oh, there we go.
Get some bandwidth.
January 1st, Crystal Palace. New Year's Day.
All right. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens in those next two games.
And 2 days later, Bournemouth, the 3rd.
No Jack. Jack looks, he looks, his body is breaking. He is pigeon-thighed. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if he's bow-legged or pigeon-thighed, but them ankles, I mean, he does. I mean, he had an assist, but he just, those injuries. He just looks stiff.
He does.
And he's another one. He's so good. He's so good. He's just anyway. I'm done, dude. I'm done.
Hey, man. You know what? Hey, it doesn't mean that I don't enjoy the season.
Oh yeah, this is fun.
I believe that this is over. Whatever. I don't care.
This is good.
Matter of fact, since I believe it's over, and like you've alluded to for years, like, you know what, it might be good for us to miss the Champions League sometime.
No chance of that.
Not finishing top 4 might be a good thing for this club, because maybe that means it forces them to make some decisions, to do some things.
From the top to the bottom, complete dog shit. People running the club, the owner of the club, just decisions. No, nobody's gonna make a decision. Wenger's got the world by the balls, dude, and he's gonna do whatever the fuck he wants to do. And hats off to him for creating that environment. We'd all want to create something like that, but it's slowly being diminished by these piss poor, lackluster results in big games, in crucial moments of the season. Yeah. And that's all I got to say. Of course, I'm going to continue to support the team. I want us to win, but at the same time, I can't have any more belief. I'm embarrassed because I was fooled. They got me again, Fitty. They got me again. On that note, Cotton Two Minds. I'm E. Marshall. Follow us on Twitter at Cotton Two Minds. Excuse me. At CITM Podcasts. And you can throw us an email at CITM Podcast at Gmail. Follow me on Twitter at E. Marshall, EMARSHO.
Hey, you can catch me at Gooner Rush. At Gooner Rush. And don't forget, man, go to iTunes, give us a rate, a review, may leave us a comment,
subscribe.
And just, subscribe, man. Connect, people. You know.
Yeah, drop us a line. Let us know what's going on. Thanks again, and God willing, next Monday, join us for another podcast. Appreciate you guys listening and all your support. Have a wonderful week, and Merry. Can I say Merry? Happy holidays.
You know what? All of them, okay? All of them. Whichever one that you subscribe to, all of them. Christmas, all of it, okay?
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus, Feats of Strength.
Hey. Yeah! Let's take it to the poll.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Cotton Two Minds. Please head on over to iTunes and subscribe, rate, and review the show. All feedback is much appreciated. If you would like to contact the show, drop us an email at citmpodcast@gmail.com. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at CITM Podcast, at Gooner Rush, and at E. Marshall. That's EMARSHO. The music in this podcast has been provided by Statics. If you like what you hear, be sure to check them out at staticsentertainment.com and follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Statics Music. That's STATX Music. Peace.